Hey, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm back on my floor to have another chat with you guys. So today I have my husband here with me. We're gonna answer some questions that you guys sent in on my Instagram, probably like, what was it, a month ago?
At least.
Yeah, sorry. We've been trying to film this video, but with daylight savings time, it's been getting dark really early in the evening, and so the lighting is just terrible. Anyway, so finally getting around to filming this, and we have a bunch of questions, so we're just gonna dive right in.
Let's do it.
All right, first question is, where did you go on your honeymoon?
We went to Nassau, Bahamas, to resort down there. I always wanted to go Caribbean. Actually, I think I told her on our first date that when we get married, we're gonna go somewhere Caribbean for our honeymoon.
He did.
Anyway, that was a lot of fun. I would definitely go again.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful island.
I loved it, yeah. Okay, so someone asked, how much land do we have, and do we plan on moving soon?
So land, we have like 3 acres of land that we own here, 3-acre lot, and then a small shop and our house, of course. So I don't know if we'll move right away. We kind of
I'll be really
into
sad.
this.
Yeah, I'd be really sad if we'd move right away. I feel like someday we're gonna grow out of it.
That'd be the only reason we move is we outgrow it.
Someday I feel like we will. Okay, so next question. What is something that surprised you about the other after getting married? Something that's good.
Ooh.
So, okay, I would say it's probably that you're very, like, attentive to, like, you pay attention to detail very much. Like, not that you weren't that way when we were dating, but now that we're married, like, when we first got married, I was just, like, shocked at, like, the amount of things he would notice, like, around the house that needed to be done, I appreciated that a ton. And it surprised me how good you are with, like, our money. He's very good with that kind of thing, and he always has, like, a plan and, like, an end game, and
I like math.
yeah.
Makes a difference.
That was a surprise.
Obviously, for Kim, what surprised me the most, and you guys know this, she has extreme talent with like video editing and just with.
Oh, that's not talent.
That it is talent. It really is.
It's called having too much time on my hands.
No,
in
not
high
really.
school.
I mean, obviously I'm biased, but she has great videos. It really took off, and she has talent I didn't know about, and we never even talked about it before we got married. After we get married, she's like, "Hey, I want to start a YouTube channel." I'm like,
I have wanted to have a YouTube channel since I was like 14.
No, you never really said anything.
Yeah, because I thought you'd think I was a geek.
Anyway.
And then I said something to him, and he's like, "Oh, that's a great idea. You should do that." And I was like,
I really didn't expect it to go very far.
Yeah, well, thanks.
I mean, who does? Everybody starts a YouTube channel at some point.
Wait, why are you not wrong?
I mean, everybody does, but very few people actually end up sticking with it and having a great channel.
Yeah. Okay, so someone else asked, are you in your forever home, or do you want to move somewhere bigger with more land? And I think we kind of covered that.
If we outgrow it, and yeah, probably.
I feel like someday, because we only have 3. We have 2 bedrooms upstairs and 1 bedroom downstairs, and the 1 bedroom up here is the nursery, and the other one is the office. So we're gonna have to eventually.
We'll stack them.
Oh,
we'll stack children.
Okay, bunk beds.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what is your favorite thing about each other?
I would say probably what I appreciate the most, and it's not a very big thing to most people, but she's very good at using words, and she's a lot of fun to just debate with and discuss. And
we debate a lot.
Different ideas, she can articulate well, and I do to some extent too, and I really enjoy a good
We debate a lot, yeah, we do. Okay, so I'd say probably my favorite thing about you is that, like, when he said he's gonna do something, he is 100% going to do it. Like, when we were like, one of our first dates, it wasn't like the first, but like one of our first dates, he was like, yeah, we'll probably get married someday. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Throw it out there.
All right. And he was right. And then, yeah, it was the same day. He's like, yeah, we should go to the Bahamas on our honeymoon. And I was like, whoa. And
that's why I want to get married. I just want to go to the Bahamas.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's just like on a small scale. I mean, but like with like life goals and plans and things like that, when he says he's gonna do it, like, I know it's going to happen.
Try to.
And I appreciate that in a person. How many kids would you all like? How many times in how many videos do I have to say that we don't really have a number? Like, people are consistently asking us how many children we want, and I'm like, what? We don't really have a number, because I feel like God kind of has a plan for our family. And also, before I had Calvin, I was like, oh, I want a huge family. Now that I've actually gone through labor, I'm like, oh, so maybe not huge.
We kind of hope to adopt some, hopefully. And
yes, at some point we will be adopted.
People that aren't familiar with the Mennonite culture, a few children is like 4 children, and a lot of children is like the 10 range.
Okay, how did you guys meet? P.S. You're so cute together. You have a handsome son.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. And we met through my best friend actually set us up, and I was determined I was not going to meet my soulmate by being set up because that is something I hate that.
I didn't even know I was being set up.
Yeah, you didn't.
I just thought I knew her friends. I thought we were going to go out and do something with the group that we normally did. But anyway, she was there.
Yeah, my best friend was like, oh my goodness, wait till you meet Daryl. He's really great. And I was like, no.
Worked out.
Okay, someone asked, did y'all pre-date and what is your perspective on it? So first of all, what is pre-dating?
So, at least the culture we grew up, pre-dating is when you're normally when you're not old enough to actually date, but you're still kind of dating on the sly, kind of going out
So
together.
it'd be basically like when you're like 16, 17,
Right.
and you're like, ooh, I like that guy. Or he's like, I like that girl, but you know, you're not quite
obviously,
dating.
You're not very mature at that point, so that can lead to a lot of trouble. So pre-dating is kind of looked down upon. We didn't really pre-date. We knew each other before when we met, we were 16, but we always hung out in a friend sphere with other people. I don't know that we ever really, there may be one or two times that we would have seen each other by ourselves.
Yeah.
But never for a lot of time. So we never had a lot of issue with them. We ended up dating for real. And,
we had a really close friend group. We had a friend group of 4 of us, and we hung out a lot. Every time I was down here in the area, I lived away from, all the rest of them lived here, and I lived in Michigan. And every time I was here, we would all hang out, and then I would see him. And I think when I was 17, closer to 18, we started like really hitting it off, and we were like, hey, like we actually want to date, and it goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
What was the first thing you noticed about each other?
She was burned like a tomato.
Okay, do you have to do that?
She wore
Every
yellow.
time?
It was like, it wasn't this. It was like a bright yellow,
Okay.
and she had been speed tanning the
No,
entire day.
I was not
She was
speed tanning.
bright orange. I still have the picture. I sneaked a picture of her that day.
You snuck
It
a
is-
picture. You snuck a picture of her that day.
Isn't it sneak?
No, I'm pretty sure it's snuck. You snuck a picture.
I'm gonna look this up afterwards.
Okay. Here's the
but yeah,
real
she
story.
was really
No,
bright.
here's the real story. So I was with my best friend that day. We went to the pond. We went swimming. Okay, it was on Saturday. We went swimming all day. So we were out in the sun, and then we may have like laid on the deck for like maybe an hour or 2 or 4, and just talked. And we, you know how like the burn doesn't develop for a little while. So we go into the house. We realize we're almost late, so we shower. We get our hair ready. We leave. As we're driving there, we start to notice that our skin is getting kind of red, and we had a 45-minute drive, and by the time we get there, we are burned, like burned.
And wearing pale yellow.
I wore yellow because that's all I had brought for that evening. Anyway,
That was funny.
I looked really bad, and it was just funny, and
She was cute, but she was really
it
red.
was
like,
really
red.
red, and we
It
did
was
not.
really bad.
I peeled so bad the night. Like it was
funny.
bad. The first thing I noticed about you is that you walked with this swag, cockiness that was like too cool for you. And
I
was
still
just
don't think
like,
I did
you
that.
didn't. I was just like, oh, you think you're something, don't you?
Apparently I was.
You were. But I also noticed you wouldn't look at me. Except when I wasn't looking at you, then you look at me and I was like, bro, like eye contact, and you're just like,
Feelings and stuff.
Okay, so what is the best part about becoming parents? Oh, so probably, what would you say?
For me, that's fairly easy. The best thing about a parent, and obviously, I go to work every day, so the best part for me is coming home and Callan's playing in the living room with his toys, and then as soon as he sees me, he just loses it and just flops over, just
so
gets
excited.
so excited.
He gets
And
so
that's always
excited.
really cool. I think every dad looks forward to that.
Yeah. And
But,
Daryl is like Callan's favorite. My favorite thing about being a parent so far is just watching the development. Like for the first
that's
2
really
or
cool.
3 weeks, it feels like, they're just so little, they're so tiny. And then after that, it's like every week there's something new. And now that he's 6 months old, there's just like so many things. Like every week he's doing new things. And it's just so fun and so exciting. And
Yeah.
it's been fun. What is something you and Daryl would like to do in the next year, maybe on your bucket list?
Well, we're kind of working on one of our bucket
We are
lists.
working on a bucket list.
That'll come out later. You'll see
Yeah.
that later on. Yeah, we're working on it.
We'll let you know soon, yeah. Okay, Daryl, what is Kim's favorite color? I don't even think I have a favorite color.
She doesn't. She doesn't have a favorite color, but she has a favorite tone. She has
It's a tone?
Yes, it's a tone. I don't know what it's called, but like everything that's like that, like it's like a light tan, like earth tone type thing.
Earth tones, yeah.
Anything earth tone, like
I do
Callan.
like earth
Go look through Instagram. It's a lot of earth tones. It's very well matched. I like them too. Most of my good clothes are some sort of earth tones. I'm not a bright colors guy at all. But
Yep. All right, so this is for me. Kim, what's Daryl's mother's middle name?
Oh, good luck with this one.
No, I think I know this.
Do you?
Yeah. So I don't think she has a middle name. I think it's either there's no middle name or it's the letter M.
So that's actually that's right.
That's
And
right.
the reason it's initial is because my mom grew up as an older Mennonite, conservative Mennonite group, and they don't normally do middle names, or traditionally they didn't. And if they did do a middle name, it was the initial of the last name, and my mother's maiden name is Martin, and so she has middle name M. Interesting name.
Right. I can't believe I nailed that one.
I can't believe that.
Okay.
Most people don't know that.
Pros of marrying young. I would say
you get the chance to grow with each other, and you kind of get the chance to refine who each other are. And obviously that can lead to a lot of problems if you don't end up staying together. Then, like as far as if you start dating young and then you end up breaking up, But for those who end up getting married, like we did, that was really cool. We kind of each saw each other grow up, and we had a little bit of a deeper understanding of each other's youth lives and stuff.
And I'd say I'm glad we have this many years together.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of it.
Had we met when we were 35 or 40, we would only get to be married. I mean, what's life expectancy these days? 50?
Depends who you marry.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. But I am glad we met as young as we did. So, what have you found to be ways to connect with each other since having a baby and in these busy times? Yeah, good question. You want to answer it?
Yeah, so the best way to connect is, like we've kind of found, so you have to be a little more deliberate about actually taking time to connect. Yeah. So with Callan being fairly well sleep scheduled at this point, he goes to bed at 7 o'clock, and then we have the rest of the evening to watch a show, or we cook together sometimes.
We love to bake together in the evening.
That. Every now and again we'll drop him off a babysitter, go out to eat, but more often than that, we'll just hey, put him to bed and just make sure we don't spend the time opposite sides of living rooms on our phone.
Yeah, for sure. We're very conscious about spending time together. And obviously, like, Callan's in bed, so we can't, like, leave and go anywhere. So we find things to do around home. Like, yeah, it's so fun. We like to bake, we'll watch a show. Like, it's our favorite time. So, yeah, but it's very intentional. I mean, we could easily spend those, like, the hour and a half to 2 hours after he goes to bed. We could easily spend it.
And sometimes we work on our own projects.
Sometimes we do.
But yeah,
sometimes I edit, he works. Yeah, and it happens.
Yeah.
Has Callan changed your marriage at all?
Yeah, I would say so, and kind of the effect of what we just said before. Yeah. Like you have to be more deliberate about spending time, and it kind of makes you value the time you have by yourself.
Yes. And something that I've had to remind myself and Daryl of since having a baby is that we were husband and wife before we were parents. We were best friends before we were mom and dad.
You gotta make sure you take care of each other.
Yeah, and you have to nurture that relationship too. Like, just because we've stepped into these new rules of mom and dad doesn't mean we can throw away all of the other aspects of our relationship.
I would never go back, and I think most people who have children will tell you that. No,
that's not at all what I'm saying. And we love being parents.
Yeah, for sure.
But it has changed our relationship in some of the best ways. How did you know he was the one for you? I never doubted it. Like, after...
Yeah, it was weird.
No, I know, like, we were best friends. All of a sudden, like, we had known each other, and all of a sudden, he was just, like, my best friend, and I trusted him with any secret of mine. I would go to him about any little inconvenience in my life, any little problem, any great thing that happened. He's the first person I would tell. And I never once doubted that I wanted to, like...
Yeah, it was weird because, like, when I was younger, I always thought, obviously as a guy, like, who do I ask?
And, like, how do you know?
Yeah, and
like, if they're the one.
I can honestly say I never once, while we were dating, like I said, I told her we were going to get married, like, when we first started dating. I never really doubted it. I never really had a lot of second thoughts. I never had any second thoughts.
At that point, when we started dating, we had been best friends for a year, probably, so. Right. Okay, so... How long before marriage did you know each other? So we met when we were 16 and got married.
20. When we were 20.
I was 19, but I was almost 20. So technically, Anyway,
about 4 years.
Friends or The Office?
Oh, The Office. I love The Office.
So the first year we were married, we got married in September. That winter, we watched the entire series of The Office, and since then we've watched it like 3-4 times since then.
Well, kind of bits and pieces.
Yeah, we'll watch season 4 and then we'll watch season 5. We did watch Friends a couple times though, and we liked Friends.
I only watched it once. It was good. Not as good as The Office though.
No, The Office is.
Quote me a line. I'll finish it.
Yeah, he will. Don't start him on that. Okay, so best and worst / hardest parts of being a parent. We kind of covered the best. The hardest part about being a parent for me is when he's in pain and there's nothing I can do. That is just like heartbreaking, and I can't, like, Callan has had a lot of digestive issues ever since he was born, and when he was really colicky right after he was born, and it was so hard because, like, I just didn't know what to do. And even now when he's in pain and I can't do anything about it, man.
Yeah, it's like the hardest thing. Like, hard. We're used to, like, when we first got married, we used to just, like, hey, you know, you're hungry for Chipotle, we're just going to go to Chipotle. You know, now it's harder to just drop everything. If you don't kind of plan a little bit, it's hard to, it takes some getting used to work around a baby a little bit. But, it's something that gets easier and easier. But, that is sometimes, it's kind of like, you know, wish you could just go out with friends till middle of the night, you know, like we used to. But, obviously, you can't do that as much now because Callan would get
I don't even want to do that anymore. Like, if we're out with friends and it's past 9 o'clock, I'm like, take me home.
Old people.
Okay, so what is the best memory, excuse me, what is the best memory of your dating years? So I don't know if you have one, but I do. So in the town that I grew up in, there's this lake, and there's a big park around it, and they have big hiking trails and a big bike trail. And my favorite times are when we would take the truck with our bikes and we'd park at the park by the lake, and we would, like, bike around the lake, and then you could, like, bike down into, like, downtown. We would bike somewhere for supper or to get coffee or ice cream, and we would just, like, bike for hours and hours and miles and miles.
Yeah,
we'd just talk and bike ride.
It was fun. Beautiful country.
Those were the best memories, like, hands down.
For me, if it wouldn't be for that, I'd say maybe there was twice while we were dating, we went with her parents, or I went with her parents and her family. We went down to Florida, and, well, both times in Florida, different places in Florida, but I went to some amusement parks, so that was a lot of fun. Got to go with her family, and
he likes my family.
Yeah, we get along good.
Yeah. Okay. This one is for me, I'm assuming. Will you go back to work when your kids are in school? So let me tell you, if you think YouTube is not a full-time job, you are so mistaken. I am at work. I'm at work every day that I work on a YouTube video, I film, or I edit. And I'm also a lemongrass spa consultant now, and I have affiliations with several companies. I work full-time. And like, people don't understand that.
Pick up her phone and like, babe, you got 86 notifications on Instagram.
And he's not lying. Like, it's not, that's not an exaggeration. And it's a full-time job. And so
she loves it, though.
I do. I love it. And I love that I get to call this my job, and the fact that it, like, supports our family, and that I love that. But I'm not going to pretend it's not a full-time job. I spend 8 to 10 hours editing every YouTube video. And I obviously can't just sit down and do that. So it's stretched over days and weeks. And so, yeah.
Soon when the little guy learns how to clean out the kitchen cabinets.
Well, editing. I know. Yeah. What am I going to do? Okay, so the next one is, when did you guys know you were ready to start dating?
Like I said, we were best friends for so long. It almost, before we started dating, was almost a point where we just were going to wait till we were old enough, because we didn't want to date. Me personally, I didn't want to date for more than 2 years, because I'm like, after that, it's kind of pointless. If you're dating for more than 2 years, unless there's obviously everybody's different circumstances, but you kind of know each other as well as you're going to before you actually get married and move in together. So I was like, you know what, let's just wait till we date till we're 18. That way, I didn't want to get married any younger than 20, because you know how that is. It's just difficult to...
We didn't, like he's saying, we didn't want to, like, start dating indefinitely. Like, we kind of had a time, like, we're like, hey, like, when we start dating, we want to be looking at getting married, because we want to be intentional about it.
You're going to know in 2 years if you want to marry her or not. I mean, you should. I mean,
if you
everyone's a little different, but you should pretty much have an idea.
Here's the thing. We dated very seriously. Like, we knew when we started dating that we were dating because we wanted to get married someday. Like, we didn't just date because we were just needed to have a boyfriend. Like,
we were long distance, so we were very intentional. When we met up, it was for a date, and we would go out and do something, and we really got to know each other.
But we were waiting on me to be old enough.
Pretty much.
Because I was...
at the very end.
I was going to be... My dad said I couldn't date until I was 18. I was 17. And I was going to be 18 in, like, less than a month. And then Daryl finally called my dad, and he's like, can we just, like, have our first date? You know I'm going to take her out as soon as she's 18. And he's like,
they all knew it too.
He's like, it's fine. He knew Daryl, and he's like,
it ended up all right.
Yep. Okay, do you and your husband have any hobbies you enjoy doing together? baking. We like to bake
definitely
together. Is that a hobby?
Hardly.
Oh, biking.
We do bike.
In the summertime, we go on so many bike rides. Last year, I think we were, well, before Callan, obviously. We were biking, 12 to 13 miles per evening, like every night.
That we could have, didn't have anything going. But,
good times. Do you plan on staying in Indiana? Yes.
Probably my job's here. I mean, if I had the option to move anywhere in the country, I probably wouldn't choose Indiana. I mean, you're right. There's nothing really special about Indiana.
I don't want to live here all my life, but I've kind of accepted that I will.
But it'd be cool to move somewhere sometime. But we'll see.
Oh, and someone else asked what's your favorite thing to do together, and I would probably say biking, wouldn't you?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. What about your spouse makes you the proudest? Wow.
Oh, well, I think I said it earlier, but definitely for me was, like after I had no idea before we got married, but after we get married, she's like, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, and she did, and she, obviously thanks to you guys, like it really grew, and
thanks to you, I never
her
would have started
Instagram it. And just interactions online.
I never would have started my YouTube channel if you did not basically like.
I had to push you over the edge.
You really did. I was like,
you were right there, but that was really impressive to me. I mean, it takes a lot to just put your life out on the internet.
Yes, it does.
Saying me, who's putting my life out on the internet, but still.
And there's a lot of like ugly comments from some people very close to me.
And you're gonna get that, but it's just like, really?
Yeah, but Daryl was the nicest, and he just was like encouraging me and like, they don't matter, just keep doing what you want. And anyway, I would say what makes me the proudest about Daryl is like the amount of times that I have been cozied up sleeping at 2 a.m. and his pager goes off and he just runs out of the house. It's this crazy respect and also somewhat happy I'm not a volunteer firefighter, but honestly, I would say what makes me the proudest is like his dedication to the fire department, how much he loves it, his job, how hard he works. He works a lot of hours and he loves his job, but he's also very dedicated to it, very good at it, I would say I'm very proud of him for that. And I would say that would be it. That would be it. Okay, someone says, how did you guys meet? Was it love at first sight? So like I said earlier, my best friend set us up, and I don't think we were in love at first sight. I think it was more like, it was interest at first sight.
It was probably interest, yeah.
Okay, do you still do grocery store date night?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Never lose that. I mean,
but now it's like
it's a necessary evil. You have to go get groceries, so why not do it together and make fun? Go grab coffers or something.
Yeah, I guess, like, if you're a new subscriber here, so when we first got married, our date night was always, like, going grocery shopping because like we didn't have a lot of extra money we wanted to spend on like an actual date night, but we knew we were gonna have to buy groceries, so we would like make it a date night and then
something to get kids with too.
Yeah, he
loves
it.
Likes it. He likes action. And
how does he spoil you? Okay, so when I was pregnant with Khaled, my feet got really swollen, and so he would always like stoke my feet, and like I couldn't reach my toes, so he would like he would clip my toenails and like file them, and he still does it, and it's the best. Were you each other's first boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yes, we were.
That's probably my favorite thing about our relationship.
Yeah, not everyone has that option, but that was we're really glad that was ours. So Callan's here.
Callan decided to join the party.
He just woke up. He's feeling a little tired yet. Anyway.
Okay. Name one random thing that y'all always wanted to do as a couple but haven't done yet.
That would probably be... We always wanted to go on a cruise. We haven't done that yet.
Yes, we'd love to go on
do like a Caribbean cruise. Go hit a bunch of places.
Okay, what makes you the happiest that the other person does? Okay, what makes me the happiest is when he randomly, does Callan's bedtime routine for me. Like, I love being a mom and I love spending time with Callan every day, all day. But, like, some evenings after he's been a lot to handle, some days, after it's been a long day, it's been a lot, he'll just come home and he'll just, like, sense those days and he'll just know. And he'll feed Callan his cereal or his oatmeal and, he will give him a bath and tuck him into bed and do those things for me. And I just, those nights always... I feel very seen and appreciated.
For me, it's a lot of times, sometimes when, like, she'll just, like, stop what she's doing for the day, like, before I come home and, like, make a big supper and, you know, make sure, like, the house is cleaned up and she dresses up nice, you know. It's makes a fun little date night and always makes an evening go well. There's a lot of things, but that's one of them that just came to mind.
I like to make the house feel cozy when you come
Yeah, it
home,
does.
but
Then it feels really cozy. Then we can have the rest of the evening to do whatever, you know.
sometimes I don't get around to it though. So, tips on buying your own home. Well, we're probably the wrong people to ask because it's our first house we've ever bought.
For home buying, obviously you have to live below your means. That just goes without saying. But I found a really good rule of thumb, and I've tried it both ways. A really good rule of thumb is never get a house where the monthly payment, whether it's rent or mortgage, is more than 1/4 of your monthly take-home pay. When we first got married, this house would have been, and it makes it really tough. Even when you get right over that threshold, 30% of your month, or you know whatever, if it's below 25%, it just becomes a lot more manageable with the other bills that come in life, and makes it easy to save money. So that's a good rule of thumb to keep in mind.
How did y'all know you were ready for babies? Actually, we ended up just talking about it a lot.
Yeah.
Like, we would just be like, oh yeah, when we have a baby, this or that. And we ended up just, like, it got to be more and more part of our conversation. And then all of a sudden we were just like, you know, that would be really fun. What's my favorite recipe to make for dinner? I have a new one lately. It's chicken and rice casserole from the Magnolia Table Cookbook. It is so good. It has like a layer of bacon on the bottom with like butter and onions, and then you put in your rice, and then you put in your chicken. You can't have the phone, darling. It's so good. That's probably my most favorite. What is your favorite that I cook? Like, what is your favorite?
Actually, my favorite, and not that she's a bad cook, but my favorite is the one we both cook. And ever since we got married, we always would eat steak and fries. We'd like cut up potatoes, deep fry, and make our own fries. And I'd grill steak. She'd make the fries and like a salad. And she can't beat it. She can't beat it. Hey, hi, bud.
Oh, you want dad?
Hey, you want to see it again?
Most embarrassing wedding memory? Do we have one?
All my coworkers went up for open mic in a group and just embarrassed me for like 15 minutes.
They did. It was hilarious. They totally roasted him. They did.
I
They
deserved
roasted your daddy.
I deserved it.
Anyways, all right, you guys. Carolyn
Is ready for food. Man after my own heart.
We should feed him. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this doesn't end up being like colossally long, but also we rarely do these videos. So I'm like, if it's a little bit longer, it's fine. You want that? Yeah. If it ends up being a little bit longer, just grab some popcorn, kick your feet up. There you go. Yeah, so thank you for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And we have some fun stuff coming soon. So yeah, fun content if I ever get around to making it.
We'll get there.
So
Busy
have a good
life.
day. Yeah, very busy life. Very full and good life. But anyways, have a good week, you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.